The book is called Men on Strike. And let's see. Okay, and there's a chapter in this book that talks about women. It talks about paternity fraud and how women can basically force a man into paying her child support, like basically get herself pregnant without his against his will for revenge or whatever to get child support, and the men get in prison for it.
Wait. I hate to mess up this lesson, but do you think that I believe that some women get themselves pregnant on purpose for monetary gain?
Do you believe that?
Do you believe that?
Wait, do I believe that they...
Do you think some women get pregnant for monetary gain?
Of course.
Hmm.
Why do you ask?
I just wanted to know if you believe that. That's interesting. That's new news to me. So women are getting pregnant on purpose to get paid.
Well, there's that. There's also several other reasons. For example, she wants to be pregnant, not really caring who the father is, etc. For instance, I'll read you a passage from the book. Okay.
Wait, you're reading me a passage in the book for what?
About paternity fraud.
Okay,
I mean women who, make themselves pregnant against the man's will.
Okay.
For financial gain or otherwise. Okay, now, one case involves a young man only 15 years old named Nathaniel who had sex with a 30-year-old woman, Richie, about 5 times. The woman got pregnant, and though under the state of California, a minor under the age of 15 can consent, the court saw it fit to force Nathaniel to pay child support to the woman who committed statutory rape against him. In another case, Higdon highlights an Alabama man attended a party at the home of a female friend. He arrived intoxicated and passed out her couch for the night. He was in her sole care, and when he awoke this morning, he found all his clothes removed except for his unbuttoned shirt. Over the next few months, she would openly boast to several people how she engaged in sexual intercourse with him while he was unconscious, would even go as far as to describe the evening as one that had saved her a trip to the sperm bank. She did, in fact, give birth to a child, and genetic testing confirmed that he was the biological father. In the last case, the last case the doctor presents is that of Emil. He was visiting his sick parents at the hospital. One evening, while he was at the hospital, a nurse offered to perform oral sex, but only if he wore a condom. After the act was complete, Deborah offered to get rid of the condom filled with sperm and must have impregnated herself because 9 months later, genetic testing showed that Emil was the father of her baby. The two never had sexual intercourse, only the one instance of oral with a condom. The commodity in these 3 cases was that a man or boy was forced into fatherhood against his will and then forced by the court against his will to pay for child support. There you go.
Hmm.
You never knew that could happen?
Yeah, I'm here. I wonder how much does it happen though? Like, let's say out of 100 babies that are born? How many of them are born that way?
Well, it's actually hard to count. I actually did a Google search on this. I didn't find much.
Hmm. So what should happen in that case? Like the dude the one that you were talking about, like that was on the, he was passed out, and then, the months later deal. Like, what do you think should happen to each person? Like, what do you think should happen?
Well, for starters, they can pay whatever child support that he gave, pay it back, give it back to him. And also, the woman, of course, needs to be in prison. I'm not sure exactly how long, but if it's rape, then I say that she should get however much time men usually get for rape.
Hmm. You know what's really crazy about that is that you see that in movies, those scenarios you just read,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't really think that it's true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would actually be offended at the idea of somebody saying that sort of thing could happen.
Because they don't typically, even, not just that crime, but most crimes, the people don't admit it. It's not like you'll ask, like, if she'll say, yeah, I did it. Mm-hmm. That would make the world a way better place if we admitted most of our crimes. Like, yes, I did it. Mm-hmm. See, I think if someone did that, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough, because I'm extreme. I always think about it to the extreme. So I'm thinking if somebody did that to, like, my son.
Yeah.
Like, I think extreme. Like, I'm thinking like other countries. Like, I think you talking about like she should go to prison. I'm thinking like she should lose all 4 of her limbs.
That would be nice too.
Like,
yeah.
Let them live. Let them be in society. Like, what if that's how our society works? People would probably do less stuff like that. Like, oh, no, that's fine. Like, what if you didn't even go to jail? They didn't even go to jail. Like, no, Once we find out it's a fact, but our system would have to be like really, but we would have the manpower to do it, to find the truth. We would be more focused on the truth. Like, no, you're fine. No, you did that. You raped him? Okay, fine. Let me get that penis. Let me get that vagina. Let me get that clitoris. Let me take that clitoris. We're just going to take your clitoris and let us get that ear. Yeah, you're fine. You're a citizen. You're great. You're great. Yes. You're great.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the book even asked the question, can you imagine the uproar if a 15-year-old girl had sex with a 34-year-old man and she was obligated in any way to pay him by the courts? Or if a woman passed out at a party, a man had sex with her, and she was then forced to have the baby. Right. If a man were to do the things that I just went over, most people would definitely want his head on the platter. He would definitely be in prison for doing those things. But when a woman is like, oh, well, he was lucky. Oh, we're just going to let it slide.
I mean, how mad could he really be?
Exactly.
Yeah. You're right. Because prison is bad, but it's not like losing an arm bad.
Yeah, I mean, most people, they lose one arm and that's it. They don't want to lose, they will go out of their way to not lose that other arm. But a lot of people have been in prison like over and over.
You'd be an advocate. If I lose an arm, I'm gonna be an advocate for whatever I lost my arm for. I forget going to prison because you can have a good time in prison.
Yeah, just ask DMX.
Yeah, right? Niggas, people are losing limbs now. Like, yo, we're gonna take that limb. Let me get that leg. That would be dope. That would be a more loving world, I believe. Like, oh, you raped her? No, you're not gonna go to prison. And that'll cut down a lot of that'll open up a lot of money too that we need as a country. Like, and then like, what if the little stuff that we do, like you just like, it'll be like a finger, like your pinky.
Like stealing, for example.
Yeah. Well, stealing, I heard in some places they take your hand.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Which
like,
makes sense.
I caught you red-handed. Like, I caught you red-handed. Give me that hand.
Yeah, and the red is for the blood. Give me the hand. We caught you red-handed. That's your hand. And what if you had to keep the hand, and then every year you had to bring, like, instead of probation, which, you probation, you have to check in like once a month or depending on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what if it was like once a year you had to bring the hand, like to the court, just as a reminder, like every year that was like your probation. It's just once a year you had to bring your hand just to discuss it for like 5 minutes. That would be dope.
Wow.
And you would know, like, that's how you know, like, because what is it? The people who molest kids or whatever that's called, they are in a book or something, or you can go online. There's like a place where you can just search them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how many of us are really searching people who commit crimes like that in our, like, really? Have you ever done that for your community?
Nope.
Right.
Hey, Ma! I'm on TV!